Russo, could you please leave your room by the end of this month and give it to me?
What? Why would I do that?
I know we're old friends and that we used to get along. I'm now your brother Herman's wife, so...
I was wondering why you had suddenly contacted me. So what if you're my brother's wife? Does that make you better than me or something?
Yes, it does. Our positions are no longer equal. I wish you would realize it already.
What do you mean, our positions, LOL? All you did was make my brother marry you by getting pregnant with him.
Shut up. You see, I'm currently pregnant with the inheritor of this family's property as the eldest son's wife.
What do you mean, inheritor? I mean, it's true that my brother is a CEO, and it's true that since everyone in the family has positions in his company, it would be best if there was a next generation who would inherit the company after us, but...
Oh, so you do get it, LOL. And here I thought you didn't understand.
Let me finish. It's true that we're probably going to have someone younger in the family inherit the company, but it hasn't been decided that your child is going to be it.
Huh? Of course it's decided. I mean, my husband is the company's CEO after all.
Stop spewing nonsense and just give me your room. I'm going to make that my child's room. Okay then, where am I going to go?
I think there was a closet somewhere that wasn't being used, right? LOL. There's enough space to lie down, so why don't you go move in there?
Louisa, I've been wanting to ask you for a long time, but...
What is it?
Back when we were in high school and you would visit my house, you would always insult my brother behind his back, saying that he was such a gloomy introvert that wasn't attractive at all, and that the only good part about him was that he was a hard worker. But the minute that you found out that he was being raised as the inheritor of grandfather's company, you started pretending that you liked him and approaching him, right?
So what if I did? It doesn't change the fact that I'm currently pregnant with Herman's child and that I'm now his wife, LOL.
You did this on purpose, didn't you? You purposefully got pregnant with his child so that he would have no choice but to marry you.
That's a serious accusation!
We talked about what we wanted to do in our futures when we were still in school, right? I still remember what you said. I thought you were just joking at the time, but apparently not. You said that you wanted to become the wife of the CEO so you could live a life of luxury without ever having to work, right? You even said that your plan was to get pregnant with a rich CEO's baby and swiftly bring it into a marriage.
Oh, I guess I did say something like that. I mean, who wants to work when you don't have to, LOL?
So that's what you did with my brother?
Fine, I'll tell you. It won't matter since no one in the family is going to take your side, so... Yes, my dream is to become the wife of a CEO. The life of poverty I had to endure as a child was traumatic, you see. And I know that this dream of mine came from my experiences as a child, but who cares about the past anymore? I spent every day running towards my dreams when finally I found my CEO, your brother Herman. I had sex with your brother with the sole purpose of getting pregnant with his baby. And as you can see for yourself, I was successful. Now, as the wife of the CEO and as the mother of the next one, I have the second highest position in this family next to your brother.
Oh, is that so? Well, it's not like I'm surprised. After all, you did tell me yourself that this was your dream, so...
If you understand, then move out of your room because I'm going to make it my child's room. I'm the CEO's wife, remember? I have the second highest position in this family after your brother, so that means that you have to do what I say. If you don't, I'm going to tell your brother. Oh, I just came up with a great idea. You're going to be my personal housemaid from now on.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about?
All right, let's start immediately then, shall we? I'm thirsty, maid. So bring a cup of juice to my room right now.
No. I'm not your maid.
What? Did you not hear a word I said?
If you want a personal housemaid, then why not beg my brother for one or something? I mean, he can probably hire you one if he wants to.
Why, So you did actually not hear a word I said. I'm the wife of the eldest son of this house, who also happens to be the current CEO. Not only that, but I'm the mother of the next CEO. Therefore, I am better than you, and you have to do what I say. Know your place. You're just an embarrassing failure of a woman who couldn't find a husband. Go get me my cup of juice now.
Get it yourself, bitch.
What did you call me?
Say whatever you want, but I'm not going to do what you tell me.
So, you intend on rebelling against me?
Well, yes. I'm going to be cutting ties with you, so do as you please. It's none of my business anymore.
You're doing what?
I already packed my stuff and found a new place to live. All I need now is to leave.
Oh, I see.
Well then, goodbye. I hope we never have to see each other again. I don't know why we were ever even friends back in school.
What? You're leaving now? Hold on, does your family know about this?
You can do whatever you want with the stuff I left in my room. I don't need the desk, nor the drawers, nor the bed. Bye.
Hey, Russo, you didn't contact us in the 10 years since you left home. But now I find out that you're the wife of the CEO of the company even bigger than Herman's? You've got to be messing with me, right? Answer my calls, goddammit! Russo! I'm not going to let you just get away with this!
Hello, Louisa. Long time no see. How's my brother Herman doing? I don't give a fuck about you anymore, so I would have just ignored you. But there's something I want to ask Herman about his company, so...
What? What about Herman's company?
Did you hear that my brother's company is on the verge of collapse?
Yeah, I heard. So what? You already know that, right? And you asked me just to gloat. You're a sick person, Russo.
Sorry, but I don't want to be called sick by someone who purposefully got pregnant with my brother's child so that she could marry him. If I'm sick, then you must already be dead.
Huh? That didn't even make sense, Russo. If I'm sick, then you must already be dead, LOL. What in the world are you talking about anyways? Didn't you become the wife of a CEO yourself? You have no right to call me out on this when you're just the same as me. I bet you even used the same tactic I used and got pregnant with him beforehand, right? LOL.
You seem to be misunderstanding. I didn't reply to your text today because I wanted to argue over your pointless rubbish. Nor did I come to gossip with you about me and my husband's marriage. I came because I'm the CEO of the company that's going to be purchasing Herman's. By the way, my husband is the vice CEO.
Huh? Did I just hear you correctly? You're the CEO of the company? You've got to be kidding.
I think you probably know the name. You'll see it if you check the homepage of my brother's company right now.
What? So you were being serious when you said that you were a CEO, and that your husband was the vice CEO?
Of course I was being serious. I'm not about to joke about something as important as the purchase of a company. 10 years ago when I left home, I had already started preparing to start my own business. My boyfriend, who is now my husband, was also a part of this initial preparation. Once we started the company, we ran it together. Me as the CEO and my boyfriend as the vice CEO. And we got married 7 years ago when the company's sales stabilized. We even have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old son.
Hey, can I ask you something important? If Herman's company agrees to your purchase, then what is going to be Herman's position in the company after that? Is he still going to be the CEO?
I'm surprised I didn't know you could make such reasonable questions.
Quit it! I'm not messing around right now!
Well, yes, it's not decided yet as to what Herman's position in the company will be after the purchase. I think he's probably just going to be a regular employee, though.
A regular employee? Why? You would do that to your own brother? You're so heartless. It's ridiculous for the CEO to suddenly become a regular employee at his own company.
I think it can't be helped. This is Herman's fault, not mine, so don't blame me. During the time of the previous CEO, that's Herman's grandfather, there weren't any problems. In fact, the company was even growing when grandfather was in charge. But as soon as my brother took charge, the company's been on a downward spiral. We can't let someone like that continue to have a high-ranking position in the company.
But he's your own brother. You can't just do this to him.
Sorry, but I'm not about to involve personal affairs in business. Besides, it's not like you two are suddenly going to be thrown into poverty. Even regular employees at his company make decent money.
It's not his fault the company is about to go bankrupt.
Actually, it kind of is. The company only lasted this long because veteran workers who have been here since when grandfather was CEO were keeping things together. But since people like that slowly went into retirement one by one, no one could hold the company together any longer. And so, here we are.
What? I didn't know anything about this. Herman never told me.
Herman just doesn't have what it takes to be a CEO. He was only chosen in the first place because grandfather liked him best out of his grandchildren. A decision I always found questionable. And besides, it's not like I alone get to decide on the matter. Most of the other executives are of the same opinion.
This can't be happening. But I had finally achieved my dream of becoming the wife of a CEO. To think that it would come crumbling down after only 10 years. Why? I got divorced with your brother.
What? Why?
The purchase of the company was made official, and he's no longer the CEO. That's why I divorced him. I don't want the child either, so I gave Herman custody of him.
And why are you telling me this? Do you just want someone to talk to, or what? I'm fine if that's the case, but I'm not going to do anything weird for you.
I'm telling you this because I want your husband instead. Give him to me.
What? Did I hear you correctly?
He's the vice CEO, right? My dream of being the wife of a CEO may now be ruined, but given the size of your company, the vice CEO's wife should probably be able to live in luxury as well.
Louisa, I think you're saying that without even knowing who my husband is.
Yeah, I guess I don't know who he even is, LOL. But who cares as long as he's rich, right? All I need to know is that he's the vice CEO of a large company, LOL. I'm still as attractive as I used to be, so I'll just make him impregnate me again and marry him. Just like I did with your brother, LOL. Get ready, because I'm going to steal your husband from you.
But my husband is your brother, Louisa.
What? Ew! My brother!
Your brother left your home around the same time I left mine, right? He was always treated unfairly by your parents, who only loved their daughter, you. I, on the other hand, was practically ignored by my own parents, who only cared about a successor for the company. We lived next door to each other, remember? Don't you think it's only natural that these two lonely people who had to go through similar hardships, at first only sharing each other's pain, gradually fell in love with each other?
What? You and my brother were together ever since you two left? But I never knew that you two were dating. Seriously?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't make sense for you to steal my husband.
Seriously? But that means that I won't become the wife of a vice CEO no matter what now. What am I going to do? I divorced your brother because I thought that I could marry your husband, but why didn't you tell me sooner?
Well, I didn't really feel the need to tell you, so...
This is all your fault. What are you going to do about this? I need to find another CEO to marry quick now that I can no longer rely on Herman. At this rate, not only am I not going to live a life of luxury as a CEO anymore, but I'm going to have to live on the streets.
Why don't you get a job?
No! I'm not getting a job no matter what. Because my dream is to become the wife of a CEO. Getting a job would defeat the purpose, don't you understand?
I get what you're trying to say, but just like you said yourself, at this rate you're going to have to live on the streets.
on my dream.
Your perseverance is admirable, I guess.
Russo, please, I need your help.
Huh? What is it now, Louisa? Do you still not have a job?
I don't have time for that right now. There are bigger problems. I need money. Hurry up and wire 30,000 euros to my account.
What?
If you think about it, you're my sister-in-law, right?
But didn't you divorce my brother?
Who cares about the details? If you're my sister-in-law, then giving me some money in a time of need is only natural, right? So come on, just give me the 30,000 euros. I need it quick. Actually, make that 50,000 euros just to be safe. Put the money in the bank account that I'm going to send you now. Russo, you haven't sent the money yet. Please, I need 50,000 euros right now. There's no time to waste.
I never said I would be giving you the money. Heck, you never even told me why you needed it in the first place.
What? So you're telling me that you're not going to do as I say? I'm the wife of the CEO and the mother of the inheritor of this company. Wait. Actually, I'm not anymore, but I used to be. So you have to do what I say.
At least tell me what you're going to use it on first.
That's none of your business. Just send me the money. You're rich, right? Isn't it in the manners book for rich people just to hand out money without asking at times like this?
I don't know of any such manners book, so I'm not going to send you the money.
Why not?
Let me guess. You tried to seduce a man that was already married, got caught, and now his wife is asking you to pay an alimony of 30,000 euros? Did I get it right?
How in the hell do you know all that? Do you have spies working for you or something?
No, I don't have any spies. But let me continue. You weren't scared putting your hands on this man since he's a CEO. And even if you're made to pay an alimony, he'll pay it for you because he's rich, right? But he also happened to be an adopted son-in-law, and as soon as it was found out that he was cheating, he was kicked out of their house, which was owned by his wife's parents. Am I right?
Hold on. How did you know all this?
That's a good question. I don't have spies, but the wife of this man that you laid hands on also happens to run her own company and is one of my company's business partners. So I know her personally, and she told me all about it.
What do you mean she runs her own company? She's the wife of a CEO, but is also the CEO of another company herself? What in the hell is that? Why would you do such a thing?
There's no rule stating that you can't work if you're the wife of a CEO. Not everyone is like you, Louisa, wanting to just live a life of luxury without ever having to do any work.
But work sucks. Why would you voluntarily do it?
I don't know about this dream of becoming a CEO's wife of yours, but I'm not going to give you 50,000 euros.
But Russo, it's true, I don't have any money. My boyfriend got mad at me for some reason, and now he says he won't pay the alimony. I really have no one else I can count on. My parents can barely get by as it is, so I can't possibly ask them. Please, Russo. It would be so easy for you. We're friends, right? Just give me the money.
At times like this, Luisa's parents would usually save their daughter, who they loved too much. But it seems that they had already spent a fortune on Luisa in the past and are now in debt. Luisa apparently did try to get them to pay, but it seems her parents finally ran out of patience for her and turned her away. Not only that, but they cut ties with her, telling her never to come back. Luisa, who now realized that no one was going to give her any money, was forced to get a loan from somewhere. Even Luisa, it seems, with her dreams of marrying a CEO, would rather work than live on the streets. So she decided to find a job. She was eventually able to get a job that came with housing. At first, she was relieved because it seemed like she would no longer have to worry. But then she realized that she now actually had to work. For Luisa, now in her late 30s, This was her first ever job. I hear that whenever she makes a mistake at work, her colleagues scold her for it. And she gets angry back at them, saying, "I used to be the wife of a CEO." Apparently, some of the employees find it hilarious and purposefully pretend to get mad at her, just to see her reaction. It looks like she'll never learn.
Hi, Ron. Would you like to go out for dinner after work today? I'd be even happier if you got a reservation at a restaurant with a view.
Miss Cross?
Please, call me Pam.
I'm sorry, but I have a meeting with our branch overseas at night today. I have to stay after work since there's a time difference. Not only that, but I'm trying not to go drinking or eating with other women. It's no use no matter how many times you invite me.
What? How many times have you turned me down like this until now? Let's just try and go out once, okay?
I need to get back to work, so goodbye.
Ron, come on.
Hi, Claire. I'm finally done with work.
Must have been a hard day.
Sorry about today. I was planning on having dinner at your apartment after work today, but...
It's all right, don't worry about it. Still, though, this overtime came out of nowhere.
Yep, it was suddenly decided that we would have a meeting with our overseas branch. There was a time difference as well, so it was a mess.
Make sure to get some rest, all right?
Yeah, thanks.
So, are you going to go straight home today?
Yep. We're going to discuss the wedding ceremony with the planners tomorrow, so I should probably get some sleep.
Yeah, I'll take a bath and go to bed early as well.
All right, see you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night. Hi, Claire. You probably still have no boyfriend because you're so ugly, right? Oh, it's you again, Pam. What do you mean it's you again? I've told you this 1,000 times. I cut ties with you and everyone else in my family once I graduated high school and was kicked out of home. Haven't you noticed that just because you got my new phone number from my friends who didn't know what happened doesn't mean I'm gladly welcoming your texts? Of course! That's why I'm texting you. I don't know what's funny about this, but I'm no longer the girl you knew who was always tense and scared of what her family thought. Even if you insult me like you used to back home, I just don't care what you have to say anymore. Huh? If that's fine with you, then all right. I'll reply to your texts, but I think we'll just be wasting each other's time. It'd just be a bother, really. Huh? What's with the attitude? You're just a failure that was never loved by Mom and Dad. Yes, but Aunt and her husband adopted me and treated me like I was their own daughter, so it doesn't really bother me. What? What's your deal? You've never even had a boyfriend. But I do have a boyfriend. What? There's something I need to take care of now. Bye. Hey, you really surprised me. There's no way an ugly woman like you could ever get a boyfriend. You're lying. I, on the other hand, am on good terms with the son of a CEO. I can't quite take our relationship to the next step, which is a bit bothersome, though. But this is without a doubt proof that I'm important to him. The way he's so stoic and strict is a sign that he's going to be a good husband once we get married. So there's no need to worry. I want to be the wife of a CEO so bad. Hi, Ron. What's the meaning of this?
What is it, Miss Cross?
The invitation to your wedding ceremony that you are handing out to everyone in the department? Why did you give one to me as well?
I thought that it was my responsibility as a son of the CEO, and as the person who's going to be the CEO after my dad. My fiancé agreed to it as well, so it was decided that I would invite everyone in the company to our wedding reception. Of course, I'm not forcing anyone to come, and it won't affect your standing at work either, so it's fine if you don't go.
That's not what I'm talking about. What do you mean you're getting married? I thought I was your girlfriend.
What are you talking about? I don't remember you ever being my girlfriend, and I turned down all your invitations to dinner. I told you that I wanted you to stop as well.
But that's because I was important to you, right?
To be honest, I don't remember doing anything that might have given you the idea that I was interested in you. I've been going out with my fiancé ever since university.
What?
It's been almost 10 years, but even if we did have a few fights, we've gotten along. I think that I was loyal to her in my own way during that time. I don't think that's going to change once we get married, but if you're going to spread strange rumors, whether outside the office or in it, then I'm going to have to intervene where I have to. Please stop making any more trouble.
But... Hold on. What's the meaning of this? Why are you at this wedding? This is supposed to be Ron's wedding, right? I get it now. You're trying to take over the wedding, right? I can't believe this. There's no way he'd marry an ugly hag like you. It's no use trying to seduce the groom when he's the son of a CEO. The only person who's allowed to destroy this wedding is his true lover, me. I'm the one who's going to stand next to him wearing a wedding dress. I won't let you bother us. I'll kick you out no matter what. That's what you get. I pulled you all the way outside of the venue. I came up with it on the fly, but me rubbing balls of dirt I made from the flower bed was effective as well. That was so fun! No, not only can you no longer enter the venue, but you won't be able to show yourself to Ron. That was you, Pam? Yep. Did you not notice because I had gotten so much prettier? I can vaguely recognize you, but I was surprised because the evil determination on your face was so evident. What? I just told Ron what you did to me. Huh? So what if you told him? He's not going to help someone like you even if you did. On the other hand, he is going to treat me like a hero now for saving his wedding. There's no way a hag like you could ever be a bride. Oh my, this might be my chance. Pam, did you read the names of the bride and groom on the wedding invitation? What?
Miss Cross, what are you doing to my bride? I just got to Claire. She was covered in dirt. This is horrible.
What's going on?
Claire told you, right? Look at the names of the bride and groom on the wedding.
Okay. What? Is this my sister? Huh? My sister's name is written as the bride's name.
Claire's last name changed because she was adopted by her aunt. But it seems that you met your aunt now and then as well, so you must know her last name was Nelson, right? Did you not think anything when you saw Claire Nelson?
I didn't look at the invitation properly.
Huh?
I didn't want to look at the bride's name since it would make me feel like I had lost. I didn't want to know the name of the person who stood in my way of becoming a celebrity wife. How should I have known that the wife of Ron, who's so high-spec, is my ugly failure of a sister?
I don't appreciate you insulting my fiancé like that, but...
Oh no, it's just that...
But Claire says that isn't the problem, so I'll pretend I didn't hear it. You understand now though, right? My fiancé, Claire, is your sister.
That's impossible. Why am I being fired?
Did you receive a notice from HR saying that they would process it as your voluntary resignation out of pity?
But all I did was rub some dirt on my sister's head.
You're lucky Claire didn't file a complaint against you. It would normally have been considered as assault, apparently. To tell you the truth, I was worried about what you might do at the day of the wedding. but you managed to slip by unnoticed and sneak into the bride's waiting room. There's a male employee that helped you during this, right?
There was no such person.
This male employee told me everything. He regretted his actions and voluntarily quit. You used your body to make him do what you said, right?
My only feelings are those I have toward you.
I talked to your parents about this.
What? Mom and Dad? What did they tell you?
I told them that I wouldn't file a complaint and let you off with a standard alimony if they accepted one condition.
Mom and Dad help me? It must be because they love me so much. Because unlike Claire, who is an ugly good-for-nothing, I was pretty and talented.
I don't know whether you would call this saving you, but...
So? What conditions did you give them?
Firstly, you three would erase all the contact information you have of Claire, and that you would never bother her again.
Oh, that much is nothing. Who cares if I can no longer see Claire? I'd gladly accept those conditions.
Secondly, the three of you will move somewhere far away.
Huh? What? You're telling me to move? That means I won't be able to see you anymore. And Dad's company doesn't have a relocation system, which means that Dad will have to quit his job as well.
This isn't my problem. If you don't like the conditions, then I'll file a complaint. You'll probably get a criminal record if you don't accept.
I don't want that.
Then, you'll have to do what I say.
This is so unfair. All I wanted was to marry you and become the wife of a CEO. To think that my sister would steal that from me.
She didn't steal me from you. All you did was cause trouble on your own. You haven't even reached the starting point.
But we were in love.
No, we weren't. You were just being delusional this whole time. Well then, I doubt we'll ever meet again, but...
Wait, Ron! Think this through. I could be a much better wife than Claire could ever be.
Don't ever show yourself to me or Claire ever again.
Ron, please!
Goodbye. The wedding ceremony was successfully held thanks to the work of the staff. We turned in our marriage papers as well that day. We wrote Claire's aunt and her husband's names as our guarantors, since they had shown up to the wedding as Claire's parents. The alimony I asked from Miss Cross was also paid. Apparently, they got the money by selling their house that was already 80 years old. According to Claire, her former parents loved Pam so much that they probably spent a fortune on her and so couldn't save up for their retirement. For now, it seemed that they're going to live off Pam's father's retirement money. But it was revealed that her parents were actually in debt. Pam was forced to help in paying back the debt, and so she now works multiple part-time jobs nonstop. Apparently, one of these jobs is working at a brothel. Why am I not surprised? After all, she did get one of the male employees at the wedding to do what she said by selling him her body. Anyways, Pam was able to pay back their debt quicker than anyone would have guessed, since apparently her job at the brothel actually paid pretty well. She now spends every day more or less in the same manner, work a few hours during the day, and work a few more hours at night at the brothel. Apart from losing a few friends after the incident, things more or less seem to have worked out for her.
Liar, you disgust me. Get out of my sight. I don't want to see your face anymore.
Huh? What's this suddenly, Vivian? Did something happen? But today's a day to celebrate.
Shut up, liar. Go home. Don't come to my wedding today.
What? Hold on, Vivian. What do you mean go home? But I just got here with James and his family. Did something happen?
Don't act like you don't know, you fraud. You were lying this whole time, right?
What are you talking about? Just calm down, will you? I won't be able to understand you if you don't tell me what's happened first, daughter.
Stop pretending to be my father. You're not my actual father, right? I heard everything about it.
Well, it's true that I'm only your stepfather, but what do you mean you heard everything about it?
I know why you and Mom got married. You disgust me. To think that you were the kind of scum that would cheat. I don't want you to come to my wedding anymore.
What? What do you mean, cheat? Me? I've never done such a thing in my life.
Don't act dumb with me. You cheated with Mom, right?
What? With Alexandra? What do you mean I cheated with my wife?
While me and my brother were living with our real father, you stole our mom away from Dad. That's when our real parents got divorced and Mom got custody of us and then married you.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Just because our real dad got sick and couldn't work anymore, Mom threw him aside and went with you instead. You two never even paid him an alimony. Disgusting.
Hold on. I have no idea what you're talking about. None of what you're saying is true.
I said don't act dumb with me. I already heard everything.
Who did you hear this from then?
My real dad, of course.
Huh?
My dad, who I'm actually related to by blood. He visited me around 2 months ago. He said he was looking for us all this time because you and Mom basically abducted us from him several years ago.
It's a lie. Don't believe what he says. What he's saying is impossible.
It's not a lie. Dad told me everything about it, and about how Mom cheated on him with you, and how you two abducted us from him, and about how hard life was for him after that. He's been wanting to meet us all this time. To think that you hid all of this up until now and pretended to be our father. You're trash.
Hold on, Vivian. Listen to what I have to say first. First of all, me and your mom didn't meet while she was married. We did nothing shameful like that.
You're still going to make excuses? My real dad told me he's been keeping this quiet because he didn't want to hurt me, but he said he couldn't stand anyone like you ruining my wedding. He told me all this really kindly back there. All you think about is yourself, right?
That's not true. Listen to me, please.
I don't want to listen to a word you say. I'm going to invite my real dad to the wedding, not you. Just leave, will you? I don't want to call a woman that would cheat on my mother anymore, and you're not even related to me in the first place. Not once did I consider you my father.
Oh, I see. Fine. I get it. I'll go home. I don't care what you call me anymore, but I won't forgive you for insulting your mother like that. I won't come to the wedding and go home. That's what you want, right?
I'm cutting ties with you, by the way. Don't show yourself to me ever again.
Hey, Vivian, what are you thinking kicking Dad out like that? He tried to look calm, but he was clearly furious. I mean, I don't blame him for being mad. What do you mean Dad stole Mom from our previous dad? Are you really that dumb to believe such a thing?
You're going to say that as well? Open your eyes. We were being fooled by that fraud all these years.
You're the one who needs to open their eyes. Dad has supported us all these years, even after Mom died 15 years ago. He never even remarried. He did all that for us, even though we weren't his real children. But this random dude comes out of nowhere spreading lies? And you just believe what he says and call Dad a fraud? How ungrateful are you?
He's not lying. He knew things from when we were young. He's our real dad. Of course I'm going to believe him.
I, for one, am going to believe our dad who raised us for 15 years and not some random dude that came out of nowhere.
He probably only raised us because he had some sort of agenda of his own. Like, maybe he wanted us to look after him when he's old. That's the only reason he didn't leave us. He even looked at me sometimes with perverted eyes. It must have something to do with that as well.
You really are trash, huh? Fine, I get it now. I'll take care of Dad when he gets old. You go with this random guy of yours. I'll go with Dad to the station. Hold on, I think I'm going to go home as well. I don't want to have to sit with some stranger you invited. I have a wife and child, so I don't want to be involved in this shady business.
What? You're going home?
Why would I go to the wedding of a piece of trash like you?
Hold on. I asked your kids to be the ones to hand me the ring and the flowers.
I don't know. It's not my problem. You're not my sister anymore.
Huh? Why? Fine. I don't care anymore as well. I won't let you meet our dad anymore, even if you beg me. Hey, answer the phone. Help me. Come back to the wedding.
What is it? I'm already home. You're supposed to be at your wedding reception, right? Do you have the time to be contacting me like this?
There are bigger problems right now. I need help. This is an absolute mess.
Did something happen?
Dad drank some alcohol and is now having a rampage. He was fine during the wedding ceremony, but he suddenly started going on a rampage and breaking things once he got drunk at the reception. He's breaking chairs and tables. Some of the staff tried to stop him, but no one could get near him. He's even injured several people. Not only that, but Dad brought with him this random woman saying she was my grandmother. I don't know whether she's mentally ill or something, but she pooed her pants in the middle of the room. This is a mess.
I see. That does sound like a mess.
Why are you saying that as if you have nothing to do with it? It's really a mess over here. All of my friends and colleagues left already. My fiancé and his parents are asking me what's going on, but I don't know what's going on either.
What do you mean, as if I had nothing to do with it? You cut ties with me, right? And so now I'm a stranger who has nothing to do with it.
What?
You told me that yourself, right? That I'm not your father?
Yeah, I did say that, but shouldn't you still help me at times like this?
Well, that seems awfully convenient. Do something about these relatives of yours yourself. I'm pretty sure that man isn't your dad, though, but he is your relative.
What?
You were too young at the time to remember, but you and James's real father died more than 20 years ago.
Huh? What do you mean?
James was 6 years old, and you were 2 years old at the time, I think. I heard from Alexandra that he died from a car accident. I visited his grave once before I married your mom, too. He's dead, without a doubt.
What? What are you talking about? There's no way what you're saying is true. Then who are those people that are making a mess at my wedding?
I had guessed as to who he might be prior, but I'm sure of it now. I think he's your real dad's brother and mother, which means that they're your uncle and grandmother. To think that he would call himself your father after what happened. What a heartless man.
Which means he's not actually my dad? What do you mean after what happened? What happened?
That man tried to marry Alexandra right after your father died. He was trying to get his hands on your father's inheritance. He didn't listen to what Alexandra said and even divorced his own wife at the time. Apparently, he even bought a sports car thinking he would be able to get your dad's inheritance. It's unbelievable, right? That money was supposed to be spent on you, James, and Alexandra's future.
No way. I can't believe this. He bought a sports car?
Alexandra and you children were able to get away thanks to the help of the wife he divorced, but he followed you for years after that. I heard that you guys had to move 2 times since he kept following you guys. Alexandra says she wasn't even able to visit her late husband's grave, and in the panic, even lost your dad's picture. She said those were tough times.
But...
Well, that's it. The man who's currently making a mess at your wedding is not your father, but your uncle, who your mother cut ties with. He didn't even marry Alexandra, but still he calls himself your father. I guess he intends on following you instead now. Your fiancé is the head of a university hospital, right? Getting rid of him is probably going to be really difficult.
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm only guessing, but the two of them have a huge amount of debt. The loan he took for his sports car is still unpaid probably, and it seems he doesn't make much money either. Not only that, but his mother has Alzheimer's. Either he barely gets by, or he's already collapsed from the pressure. That's why he came to you and your husband, because he intends on making you pay for his debt. They'll probably be even more hard to get rid of this time since he won't let go of an opportunity like this when your husband is rich. He's careless with how he spends his money, so he's probably going to give you two a hard time. Make sure not to let your guard down around him.
Huh? Hold on, this can't be true. There's no way we can take care of the two of them. He's not even my real father.
But aren't you the one who believed what he said and allowed him to come to your wedding? You wouldn't even listen to a word I said, right? Whether you're going to take care of him or run away is your responsibility.
That's impossible. We can't run away now. I already told him where my fiancé's parents live, and he even knows the address of our new house. What should I do? Help me, Dad.
You said that I wasn't your dad, right? You said I was a fraud, and to never show myself in front of you again.
No, that was...
I mean, I'm not even related to you by blood. I'm a stranger to you, just like you said. So what if this man isn't actually your dad? He's your uncle, related to you by blood. Why not treat him like he was actually your father?
No, I don't want that. Please, Dad, help me. I was fooled as well. I didn't know that that's who he was. Help me, Dad. Do something about this.
Vivian, I raised you as if you were my real daughter. That was what I had told myself I would do when I married Alexandra, to treat you two like I was your real dad. But I'm only human as well. There's no way I wouldn't get mad or sad when the daughter I had raised up until now suddenly denies everything that I had done for her. And not only that, but insults my wife, her own mother, that I still love. Do you really think that I'm going to help you now just because you told me to? When you haven't even apologized?
That's not what I meant. I'm sorry, Dad. I made a misunderstanding. I was wrong. So forgive me.
It's not something that can just be forgiven like that. Sorry, but you're on your own. I don't want to have anything to do with those people as well. Even if I were to go straight to your wedding, I wouldn't be of much help anyways.
But...
If you ever have trouble shaking off those people, it's fine if you get me involved, but no matter what you do, don't involve your brother and his family. He has young children.
Hold on, Dad. Don't leave me.
That's up to you. Congratulations on your wedding. I'd be glad if you found happiness. After that, Vivian's uncle, who was rampaging in the wedding venue, was subdued by security. Both him and his mother were taken away by the police. Vivian deeply regretted making a mess of her own wedding and apologized to her fiancé and his family, and said that she would delay them getting married until she sorts out her business with her uncle. That, or she would pay an alimony and cancel the marriage. The groom's parents wanted to cancel the marriage, but thanks to Vivian's kind-hearted fiancé, it was decided to only postpone the marriage. I'll skip the details, but after that, Vivian's uncle was tried at court. Apparently, he was guilty on countless other crimes as well, and was sent to prison. His mother was sent to a facility for elderly people, and Vivian never saw her again. Vivian and her fiancé came to me and apologized for what Vivian had done. She said it was fine if I wanted to cut ties with her if I couldn't forgive her for what she had done. But I also felt slightly guilty for not telling her about her uncle earlier, and decided to forgive her if she apologized to her mother at the grave as well. Vivian paid for the wedding all on her own, and even canceled their honeymoon. But after overcoming several hardships, the two got married half a year later. She made up with her brother James as well, and she hosted a dinner party with us as a way of making up for her ruined marriage ceremony. It seems they still have a lot of things to take care of. I'm glad to see that the two are happy. I'm sure Alexandra and her late husband are also watching from heaven and are glad their children found happiness. After all that, I went back to my peaceful old life of going to work and occasionally playing with my grandchildren who come to visit. My children have already grown up, and I have no intention of remarrying. I think I'm going to save up for my retirement and also maybe get better at my hobby, open sea fishing.
Sam, would you please stop asking my husband to withdraw such a large amount of money?
Good evening, Kumi. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Large amount of money?
It's really no use pretending you don't know. I already know what you've been up to these days. You and your mother are taking way too much advantage of my husband. Well, I guess that my husband felt obligated to comply to your request as well, so I guess it can't be helped this time. But from now on, please refrain from doing that ever again.
Well, I still have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't think it's something that I have to explain to you, word for word. Just put a hand on your heart and take your time to think over what you've done. Think very carefully about living your life by sucking money out of my husband. Consider the shameful way of living in that way. Excuse me then.
Josh, I just arrived. Oh, hi, brother. I'm glad you and Mom got back into the country safely. You're coming back the day after, right? That's right. The medical conference in Germany will finish tomorrow, so I'll head home when that's over. But to think that you let us accompany you for your medical conference so that we could enjoy sightseeing. When I first heard about it, I was so surprised. We had promised to take a trip together, but I didn't imagine us making an overseas travel. I wasn't able to fulfill our promise since I've been busy, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. I couldn't spend as much as I would have liked, though, with you and Mom since I had to work. But there was a travel guide who spoke Japanese, right? Did things work out okay? Oh, that was so helpful. Both Mom and I couldn't speak German at all. Although it was the first time going overseas, I didn't feel so anxious and really enjoyed the time there. Thanks to you. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, I just remembered. When you are back in the country, could we get together? Yeah, of course. Is something up? There's something I want to talk about. About Kumi. About Kumi? Oh, is it something you mentioned earlier? Yeah, recently things have been getting worse. It also seems like she's been troubling you as well. Also, the matter I had asked someone to look into, that's been confirmed as well. I see. I'm sorry to trouble you when you must be tired from the trip. No worries. Then I should get prepared for the conferences tomorrow, so I'll message you again later. Alright, thanks so much for the trip.
Sam, aren't you and your mother really not embarrassed at all to be leading parasitic lives on your younger brother's money? Why don't you at least use your own money for the trip to Germany?
What? Oh, it's been a long time, Kumi. What do you mean by leading parasitical lives?
Do I have to explain everything to you? I know that Josh is a doctor and has a pretty good sum of money, but aren't you ashamed that you're using your brother's money to go overseas? Especially now that your brother has his own family? Don't you have any pride as his older brother? Or so he says.
Is that what you were referring to the other day?
Did you realize that just now? I am so shocked.
Well, as we had no intention of asking for his money.
But my husband paid for everything this time, didn't he?
That is true, but that was a promise we had made between Josh and I since a long time ago.
Oh my god, that is just unbelievable. You're telling me that you planned to get money out of him even before your brother was a doctor? I know that he already showed much promise for his career, but isn't that a bit too much?
No, that's not quite right.
Then what is it?
It's a little difficult for me to explain. When our father passed away, I was a senior in high school, and Josh was still in junior high. Because of our circumstances, I didn't go to college and started working right away after I graduated from high school. At that point, Josh already had a dream of becoming a doctor, so my mother and I decided that we would support him as much as we could.
Oh, so what you're saying is, because you supported him back then, you want him to help you out now that he's become a doctor. Basically, you want him to pay you back now. That's the promise you made, right?
No, that isn't how it is. I usually make sure that Josh doesn't spend his money for us. As for the trip to Germany the other day, it is true that Josh paid for our trip, but this is something that Josh had been saying he wanted to when he was able to graduate from medical school, and he did graduate. So that's how the trip finally happened. So this time, it was something special for all of us.
Well, however you frame it, it still doesn't change the fact that you let Josh pay for all your travel expenses. And also when you rebuild your house into an apartment.
What? That has nothing to do with Josh.
Really, these are the instances when one can see how stingy poor people can be. Please refrain from coercing Josh to give you money from now on. Never, ever again. Actually, never contact him again.
What? That is a bit too much.
Josh is my husband. I am the only one who can spend his money freely because I am his wife. If something like this ever happens again, I will not forgive you.
Kumi, I am getting a divorce.
What?
I'm getting a divorce from you.
Josh, what are you saying? Is this something to say over a message? What is going on here? I have no idea why you're saying such a thing.
And will you still not understand if I tell you that I am with my brother now?
What? With Sam? You told me it was your day off and you turned down my suggestion that we go out together.
That was so that I could see my brother.
Can it be that your brother is asking for your money again?
What?
This is enough. I warned him never to take money from you ever again. To think that he would have the nerve to meet up with you to ask for more money? Josh, don't you think you've had enough with a brother who is so poor and miserable?
What are you talking about?
There is also that matter regarding the trip you took with your brother and your mother to Germany. Also, a few months ago, they rebuilt their house into an apartment building, remember? Then they moved into one of the rooms in their apartment building and your brother became the owner and your mother is living with him, right?
Oh, that's right. What about it, though?
What do you mean, what about it, though? Your brother ordered you to pay for that money to rebuild that house into an apartment building, didn't he?
What?
Listen, I would understand if you became the owner of that apartment building since you gave out the money for it and you let your brother and your mother live there. That would be fine. But the owner of that building is your brother. That means that the income from the apartment rent goes straight into your brother's pocket. That is absolutely nuts.
Kumi, what are you talking about? The money spent on rebuilding that house into an apartment building was paid out by my brother.
What?
I gave them just $500 as a gift. How on earth did you arrive at such a misunderstanding?
What? Well, since your father died, your mother only worked part-time and is now living on her pension. As for your brother, he quit his company a few years ago and he's living off your mother's pension, right? How could those two possibly pay for rebuilding a house? The only relative who could provide them the money would be you, since you earn enough money as a doctor.
My brother is making as much money as I am now. While he was working at his company, he had a side job. Now that he can earn a good-sized income from that side job, he decided to quit his company and concentrate on his side job, which means that he can work from home. You also have someone you know who works from home, right? Even though you knew someone who works from home, you automatically assumed that since my brother is spending most of his time at home, that he doesn't have a job. What you say is unacceptable. How absolutely thoughtless of you.
But your brother only graduated from high school, right? And the company he worked for was a very small-sized firm, no? How can someone like that manage to earn enough money as someone who works from home?
If there is something you're really good at doing and you can make it into a business, it's possible, depending on how hard you work for it. It would depend on the type of job, of course. Maybe one needs to get a license or a special training. As for my brother, he worked hard for it and made it work.
Then why didn't you tell me all of this before? You didn't tell me anything about the apartment building. You can't blame me for misunderstanding.
Listen, as for the plan to rebuild our house into an apartment building, that started way before we even started dating. As for the kind of work my brother is doing, I did mention it to you before.
What?
As for the trip to Germany the other day, I wanted to pay my brother and mother back for all the support they gave me when I was pursuing my dream of becoming a doctor. It's something that I offered them.
Well, support. Still, just because they helped you out a little bit over living expenses, paying for all the expenses for an overseas trip is too much.
My brother paid for 2/3 of my high school and medical school tuition.
What?
And 1/3 was from the insurance my father had for our education fee. But then my father died suddenly. My brother supported my mother, who was completely distraught. On top of that, he looked after me since I was a junior high school student at the time. And my brother was only 18 years old at the time. Just imagine what pressure he had at that time. To be honest, I don't think that taking him and mom for an overseas trip is not enough at all.
What? Are you still planning to give them money?
That is why I'm getting a divorce from you.
What?
You don't like it that I want to pay back my brother and my mother, right? But this is not so much that we have to lower our way of living.
What? But the trip to Germany? It's an overseas trip, so it's not just a matter of 500 or 1,000, right?
For that, I used the money that I had been saving up when I was still single. This is not something I should be blamed for at all.
But...
What is it with you, Kumi?
What? Me?
Do you think that I didn't notice anything?
What are you talking about?
The credit card that I gave you so that you can spend for our living expenses. You've used it to its maximum. Do you think I will continue to allow you to misuse the credit card like that?
But you told me you would let me be in charge of the household expenses.
I did tell you that I would ask you to handle our household expenses, but that did not mean that you could use the money freely. Let me tell you more. Do you think that I would tolerate you using the amount equal to my monthly income on your lover? Think again.
What?
Did you really think that I wouldn't notice anything? I can also see the credit card purchase history, you know. Things looked fishy, so I looked into it.
You were looking at the bill?
That is the so-called family credit card, so it's natural that I can also see the bill. To begin with, that money is withdrawn from my bank account, so if I didn't notice anything, that would be really funny, wouldn't it?
Oh, God.
Anyway, I hired a detective to find out if you really had a lover. I now have proof of it, so you can't deny it. I also can't forgive you for all the insults you said regarding my brother and mom. I'm divorcing you.
Wait.
What for?
What?
If you were telling me to wait on the divorce, I can't oblige.
Maybe we can talk over this.
As for that, we can do that through my lawyer.
A lawyer?
The contract for the apartment we are living in now is scheduled to be renewed in 2 months, so I decided not to renew it this time.
What?
I still have some things left in the apartment, so I will go back once. After I pack everything, I will be gone for good. I want you to get yourself out of the apartment as soon as possible.
What? Wait.
What do you mean, wait?
What? Well, that is...
If it has no meaning, it's just annoying.
Josh,
Please talk to my lawyer. Goodbye. A few hours after we exchanged messages, I headed over to my younger brother's place to move his things out. My brother's wife, Kumi, was not there. Well, it was good timing. I managed to get all of my brother's things out in that short amount of time. As for Kumi, it seems like she ran to her lover's place for help, and my brother has confirmed that fact. Her things had been sent, cash on delivery, and the lawyer also paid her a visit. A month later, everything was settled and the divorce was finalized. As for Kumi and her lover, they had to pay for the consolation money plus all the money they had spent together. It was a one-time payment. The amount came to $70,000. They had to take out a loan, but they couldn't ask for help from the relatives, so they got themselves into a fix. Now, they are living days of regret and hard work.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.